When planning to travel abroad, passport always come to mind when thinking about the travel document. And actually, there are more than one travel documents available for Malaysians to travel abroad beyond the passport. So let's look at the types of travel documents that actually Malaysians can use to travel overseas. But first, welcome to GEO Malaysia. Travel document is a kind of standardized and legal document that can be used on a travel across the international borders. And actually there are several types of travel documents that are available for Malaysians to go abroad. And let's look at the limited passport. The limited passport is a kind of passport that can only be used to specific countries, and currently the only countries that Malaysian can go with the limited passport is Brunei Darussalam, which is clearly stated on the cover of the limited passport. And historically, the limited passport can be used to travel in Sabah and Sarawak because they control their own immigration, and also to Singapore up to year 2002 or 2003, I don't remember that. After the introduction of MyCard or the current IC in the year 2001, Sabah and Sarawak accepted the entry of the people from Peninsula to Sabah and Sarawak just with the ID, because the MyCard has the detail of the personal information that often the passport already have. So the usage of limited passport is redundant, so it's much more needed. Just bring IC. Meanwhile, for Singapore, they already stopped accepting the limited passport because of the security concerns, because the limited passport is manually processed and no biometric chip inside. So Singapore only accepted the international passport since then until now. The validity of the limited passport to Brunei Darussalam is about 5 years validity, and the cost is 50 ringgit. Whose person is suitable to apply for this limited passport? Well, if you are a frequent traveller to Brunei Darussalam, or thinking to travel or commute to work between Miri, Limbang or in Kota Kinabalu and some towns in between, so this kind of passport might be suitable for you. The second type of the travel document is a border pass. Border pass is used only exclusively on the northern state of Peninsular Malaysia, which are Kelantan, Kedah, Perlis and Hulu Perak district on the northern Perak. And across the border, the destination are only limited to 4 southern Thailand provinces, which are Pattani, Narathiwat, Yala and Songkhla. And historically, before 2012 and 2013, border pass is only a piece of paper that attached with a passport size photo and some identity details on one side, and the rest is just for the place for the immigration officer to stamp on the paper. But now, border pass is much more resemble like a proper passport with a light blue cover, and also with some pages which is really resemble like a passport. And the biggest difference between border pass and the international passport is that it is a non-biometric passport. The validity of the border pass is 1 year and the cost is 10 ringgit. And actually, only people who are living in these 4 northern states can apply for the border pass, while the rest of the country need to apply for international passport to go to Thailand. And the third type of the travel document is cross-border pass, which is a travel document between the Malaysian side of Borneo and also in Kalimantan, which is in Indonesia, which is like one island of Borneo, of course. The movement is only limited to Kuching division in Sarawak and West Kalimantan in Indonesian side, and Tawau in Sabah in the Malaysian side, and the Indonesian side is Tarakan, which is a part of North Kalimantan. Cross-border pass is similar to Malaysia-Thailand border pass in appearance, of size and colour, and the only difference is the wording below, which is Pas Lintas Batas, cross-border pass, and the validity is still the same, 1 year after the issuance, and the cost of getting one cross-border pass is 20 ringgit per year. The next travel document is perhaps the only types of travel document which can make in group more than 1 people, and it is called collective travel document in lieu of passport. And as the name suggests, it's intended for the group travel, of course. And the only countries that accepted the collective travel document is Thailand and Brunei. And despite the Malaysian Immigration Department website say that it can use to travel to Singapore, and actually Singapore already stopped accepting the collective travel document since the 1st of January 2021 due to security concerns, because this type of a travel document is in manual, is a non-biometric. So that, and how many people can be registered into the collective travel document, you might ask. The minimum number is 5% and the maximum is 20%. Such is a perfect document for a group travel, maybe for a holiday or school trip. The validity of the collective travel document is about 9 months after insurance, but it only can be used once, which means that after you go to Thailand or Brunei, and when you come back, the travel document is already done, invalid. The cost of getting one collective travel document is 200 ringgit regardless of how many people are registered in one book. So the more people are joining to the group, the more money you can save. The next type of travel document is perhaps one of the type that you wish you never applied to, which is the emergency certificate. Emergency certificate is a travel document to go back to Malaysia when there is no other document available to return, and usually the Malaysian will be apply for one emergency certificate when the passport was lost or stolen overseas. As such, the emergency certificate can be applied in any Malaysian abroad mission and embassy abroad, and it's only valid for a single trip back to the homeland. And in the certificate, only the origin and, if applicable, the transit countries are available to be passed through. And this as emergency certificate cannot be used to any other destination or country intended to. So yeah, only one way back. The cost of getting one emergency certificate is 50 ringgit. And last but the best one is of course the most beloved dread book of international passport. It is the most common travel document since it is valid for all countries in the world except one country that it will be stated on the first page of the passport book itself, which is the state of Israel. The current validity of the international Malaysian passport is about 5 years, and the cost to getting one is about 200 ringgit. But if you want to get it cheaper, there is a way to do so. If you happen to be 60 years old, or you are 18 years below, or you are getting an offer to study overseas and 21 years old below, or you got the offer to perform Hajj and getting an official letter from Tabung Haji, which is a Hajj agency in Malaysia, you can get half the price, which is 100 ringgit. And wait, there is more. There is one special category which can get the international passport for free, which is the people with disability. Yeah, it is. The disabled people can get a free passport, one of the best passport in the world, for free. So there you have it. Actually, there's a lot of travel documents that can be used for the trip overseas. So you can choose which one do you want, depend on your budget, on your destination, or even the qualification if you happen to live nearby the border areas. Yeah, just go and travel. But the biggest question is when we can go back traveling again.